Hi Neo, and anybody else out there in YouTube who's interested in this sort of thing. You have been sharing about your spiritual foundations and your interests along that line, and now I'd like to do the same. My spiritual foundations go back as far as I can remember, though at the time I didn't think of them as spiritual things, because it took me quite some time to realize that the experiences that I was having as a child were not typical experiences around most of the people that I would meet. Since then in my life, I've found other people who have had similar experiences, but they are more few and far in between. So going back to when I was a child, I would have dreams often of things before they would happen. Sometimes they were just little snippets here and there, which manifested in my daily life as often as these very intense periods of deja vu, but not just a subtle feeling of having seen this before. They would be more whole pockets of minutes or two in which I was seeing it again, and I knew it was going to happen for the next minute, because it was either coming as an instant memory, or I was remembering something from a dream that I had had. And I found this very disorienting, and its effect upon me was to ask, how could this be, or what is the nature of time? It sent me into all sorts of meditations upon that sort of thing. And I began to think that that my mind, or my essential nature, was not fixed in time, and that it was capable of moving in any direction that I could focus it. And I did a lot of thinking along that line, and somewhere along the line as a child I also had, like what you had described in one of your further videos, as out-of-body experiences. I began to have dreams in which I realized I was dreaming, which is called lucid dreaming. And the lucid dreaming actually had a much bigger effect upon my sense of self than I would have thought at the time. It was a huge breakthrough to finally stop in a dream being chased by whatever the thing was that's, as a child, you're being chased by the monster, and to finally stop and turn and confront it and just realize this is a dream, or what is this thing, and to look at it and to have it reveal its nature. It was a very empowering experience, and these happened a lot at that time, and they've happened since. It completely transformed my whole dream life. And the major effect upon my daily life of that of those lucid dreaming experiences was that it created a space in which I could stop and examine things as they were happening. It gave me an extra space of examination of self-consciousness that wasn't there before, so that I could make more decisions in a smaller space than was before. So instead of being caught up in a fear situation, as like in the dream, being chased by whatever the pursuer was, in my daily life, when those same kind of confrontations or what have you would happen, it just gave me more of a space to stop and say, wait, look at this, examine it, face it, deal with it. And it really did change my my ability to function in a much more productive way. Another thing that I can't stress enough was the experiences that I would have as a child when I would just be sitting by myself, or I could be off playing in the yard, playing in the grass with a tree. I did grow up where there was a church environment on Sundays, and when we would go there and have prayer situations, also when I prayed, because we had to, you'd pray before you go to bed, and I had my own way of doing that, and it kind of came natural to me is when I would close my eyes and go into that meditative, prayerful state. It was very easy for me to just slip into this ecstatic, blissful consciousness, and I felt like I was totally connected to God, as people say. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no language for that. It just seemed perfectly natural. And to wrap up, believe it or not, I just spoke to my camera without it recording for a few minutes. Some really good stuff, which I'll have to shoot again sometime and pass that along. I guess it's getting kind of late. Anyway, I think I've shared enough for one video right now. I could go into quite a few more, just going into any number of detail of any of those experiences, or into what I see as the more significant effects that those things had later upon what I decided to do with myself and the things I studied and learned. But again, those will have to wait for another time. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.